I am Alada Equiano, a former slave that has witnessed the terrible ways my people have been treated by white men throughout the transatlantic slave trade. Captured at 11 years old, I was a mere child when this trade tore me away from my family. I never saw them again. What I did live to see was the Middle Passage, after walking hundreds of miles to the western coast, where an inhumane amount of us were loaded onto ships like the cargo they thought we were. No possible form of blind self-entitlement should ever compel humans to treat their fellow species as lesser than. Entire families died at the claws of this Middle Passage due to malnourishment, deadly diseases, and racial brutality. Individual space is so limited that many die right where they are, nobody noticing because no one can move. Their bodies are left rotting until the boat reaches land. Disease spreads like never seen before due to these confined and disgusting conditions. Slave ships are known as the floating coffins for a reason, as millions of people never see land again. Merchants argue that the suffering of millions is worth a trivial tea bag or a cane of sugar. They claim that this pain is worth a booming economy, but that boom is a whisper compared to the wails of the victims of, perhaps, one of the largest genocides in our global history. To those who treat slavery as a necessity, not one of the largest racial injustices this world has ever seen, I raise you this question. If the Africans you capture are descendants of Judeo-Christians, is it still morally correct to treat them as less than human? The Bible is the religion's only weak justification to slavery, with only one rule. A Christian shall never enslave another Christian. This brings about a new topic. Is it still morally correct to enslave the so-called biologically inferior Africans if you are all children of the same God? Now, this can't possibly be true, as many more times does the Bible state that a slave must serve their master. However, also mentioned several times in the Bible is the only one and true judge, God. Only God will judge you for your actions on earth. And if the lives you kill here are more important than your celestial safety and moral convictions before and after death, then I'm afraid even organized religion can't save you. I strongly believe that my skin color does not define who I am. I am an accomplished author and public speaker, but with my African descent, the simple-minded and misinformed may choose to attack me and my works, further proving their ignorance. With decades to reflect upon the events of my past, I have concluded that the transatlantic slave trade is not only a brutal form of greed, but also one of racism. Why the Africans? Why not the East Asians, the Americans? Surely never the Europeans. They're too busy throwing their own waste out the window to be considered the inferior race. My people never needed enlightenment from the white man, but even centuries after, we all see repercussions of this globally institutionalized genocide in our 21st century lives. It is not the oppressor's job to deem whether the victim is suffering or not. So why would so many dismiss or counter the pleas of these victims of inhumane slavery? Because this plea has gone addressed for so long, it has grown louder. No longer is it a cry for help, but now the shout of justice. I stand with those who crusade to abolish this abhorrent industry, yet not only to bring about its end, but also change, to take steps towards a better world. Thank you.